Yeah, so I'm just leaving work, okay? My supervisor is definitely, or the lady who's over the business that I work for, she is definitely a key, okay? The video that I want to make is not about a key, though. It is a very serious video about something that I watched the other day that seriously, and I try to not watch things of that nature, especially during like the holiday season, because I know how emotional I can get. But it was something that was brought to my attention. I will link the video down in the description bar. It was, far-sighted, nearsighted. Yeah, y'all figure it out in the comments which one I am, but I'm one of them. Let me look. So apparently, listen, I couldn't find the young man's name. Let me show you a picture of, I'll try to show you a picture of him. If you could see, wait, which one is he? He's this one right here. And it's on the family TV. I'll actually, I'll tag the video. It's so sad because he basically explains how he has literally been in the prison system the entirety of his life, majority of his life. And I said the entirety, the majority, I meant to say the majority of his life. The thing is, as I'm gonna say, as black people, we always taught to be strong. We always tell our boys don't cry. We always the tough, we have to be tough. The black woman is the savior. Y'all, that shit gotta stop. Let's just be honest, okay? In my future voice, I'm just being honest. That shit has to stop, because not only is it tiring, but it is also draining to the detriment of who we are as a people. And it's hurting I noticed that it hurts our men more, okay? Because it's a lot that they are holding in. And I'm gonna see if I can find a video. It was a young man, and when a man is vulnerable enough to tell you that he has been hurt in its entirety, to say that he's been hurt, but to verbiage in how he's been hurt and how he's been emasculated, that speaks volumes, okay? So this young man didn't say he was emasculated. He basically was talking about, how the jail system broke in him. How the jail system is not designed to...
No disrespect to what y'all got going on. I've been trying to find good people for so long. I'm tired, bro.
I would say this. It's
I got
to make you a better person. Apparently he was on lockdown. I'm not sure if the young man had mental illnesses or not. It wasn't really discussed. I think he did. The sister did say something, and the young lady that you heard on the beginning of the call that I played was his sister, and she was on the phone. And my prayers go out to you, baby. She allowed him to talk to his nephew. He verbiage how emotionally he had gotten better with communicating, because a lot of times before he had missed the mark. So it was a lot of self-reflection on his end that he did have and understood and knew, okay? And it was a lot of accountability. He said, had it not been for certain things, apparently his mother was not in his life. Apparently the sister that he was on the phone with, she was the one who basically raised and reared him to be the great person that he was. And y'all, people are so quick, especially when it comes to suicidal thoughts. They are so quick to judge, and he started that conversation off basically saying, listen, the only way that I'm leaving out of here is in a body bag. And that's the way he left. He literally left in a body bag, and it's sad. When I say it's sad, it's hurtful. It's really sad, because ultimately, you know, his sister said, you know, I have been reaching out to you. I wanted to help you, and you shut yourself off. I myself am guilty of that as well. I just had a conversation with my mama the other day, week before last, for Kavaria's birthday. Shut people out, because it gets to a point where you don't want to talk. You just don't want to talk. You do not want to talk, you know. And I'm not about to sit there and hold the phone. Baby, we not in high school, you know. I'm not about to sit there and hold the phone. But I need to be more cognizant of, especially since I have expressed feelings like that previously with her, that I need to let her know that I'm okay, even if it's via text messages. And that's something that I did not do previous. I have not been doing. But the young man, he just was basically going over pretty much everything. Like everything that his mama did to him, everything that the world did to him. And my God, that baby was dealt a bad hand. I say baby, I know he's an older gentleman. He has to be 30s, you know. He had, and the sad part is he has kids. His sister was basically trying to tell him that he needs to have his affairs in order. And I think he processed that as, let me send you some money. So he was like, I don't need no elaborate casket. And she was like, no, that's not how I'm trying to she basically was trying to tell him, like, it's not your time to go. And apparently, I'm not sure what the situation is, but I guess in his mind, he felt like it was about to be a situation where he was about to be, he had to go back to jail. And he said that he vowed not to go back to jail. And, you know, the negotiators, they were saying about how they didn't have any drones there. Come to find out later on, it's crazy. And the boy was like, I'm not crazy. I know that there's drones in here because I'm hearing stuff. And the sister, she going off of what she's being told. And what she was being told was that there were no drones, which was not true. Come to find out, because literally they played a video clip of them saying about them, you know, initiating the drone. So, you know, you just, hold on. Baby, that's Princess and her people, but yada, yada, yada. So, it initiating the drone. So they say about, you know, who has the drones, yada, yada, yada. So it was a drone that was there, okay? The boy, he was like, I know it was a drone there. It was just a lot. So I was sitting up there and I'm just like, this baby, he literally, they lied to him the entire time, saying, oh, and I'm not trying to say that they were trying to do anything to quote unquote harm him, or they were going to, their whole thing was they was gonna kill him. I kind of feel like from the way he was talking, he was a religious person. And you know, in the Bible, it says if you kill yourself that you quote unquote do not go to heaven. Not quote unquote, but it says you don't go to heaven. It says you don't go to heaven. But I feel like he didn't want to take his own life. Even though he kept saying to the other people, like, I'm not, what did he say? He basically said that he did not, he was like, I'm not going, this going to be the easiest one for y'all. All y'all got to do is just chill out. Let me have my cigarettes. He kept requesting cigarettes. He was like, chill out. Let me have my cigarettes. That's all I want is my cigarettes. Y'all making this harder than what it's supposed to be. He was going off, okay? He was like, he just wanted it to be over with. He didn't want to go through the jail system again because he had been through a lot and he had been through enough, and he was just over it. You could just tell by the way he was talking. He was truly over it. Yeah, I don't know why my shirt is, I'm about to take this off. But you could tell he was over it. Yeah, he was over it. To his sister, it's literally nothing, baby, that you probably could have said or did to change that situation, because he had already, when whatever got him to that point where SWAT had been initiated and they called him out, he already had it in his mind that this is what's gonna happen. No lie, that's he knew what yeah. So baby, it was nothing that you could have said or done. To all my little black boys, teenage black boys, young adult black men, like, I am so sorry. Like, and I've been with people who've been incarcerated, and it never in a million years dawned on me to, like, well, you know what, I lied, because my ex, you could tell it was a difference from the time when we first started, because we had been knowing each other for a while, but we knew each other before he actually went into the feds. But from fed, the time he did in the fed until when he came out, it was definitely a switch. It was definitely a switch, and I never spoke to him about it. Now, the person that I converse with now, he has been more vocal, but he's more, let me before I say that, it's a difference in communication. So he is more communicative to me and more open about what has happened to him versus my ex. A lot of things, I don't even know if I ever, like I say, I don't think I've ever asked, and I've dealt with none but me. I know that sounds awful, but I've dealt with none but me who have been incarcerated, and it never dawned on me to, like, what you went through. And it has to be hell, it has to be, especially solitary confinement. But I don't think, like, any of the, to the best of my knowledge, nobody I know had to do solitary confinement. To the best of my knowledge, that's what I'm gonna say. I'm not sure, but from what that young man said, he had solitary confinement, and it was not, and I can understand how it's not conducive to your mental state. You literally being in a room by yourself, you doing whatever, you in the room by yourself. I'm not sure books allowed, but hell, it's only so much. Yeah, listen, I don't know, it's only so much, and that's meant to break you down. Literally, that's meant to break you down. If you are confined away from people, that's meant to. And then on top of, if you have mental issues as well, what do you expect for a person to do? But like they said, it's not meant for rehabilitation. Like, I know that that's what they're saying, but nah, it's not meant for rehabilitation. They have some exceptions sometimes, but I feel like a lot of times there's something that internally a person will have to want to do themselves, so, or have to have that push and that motivation to see something on the other end. I say that all the time. I sent books to both of my exes. One ex completed college, the other one sold a book. So listen, it's all in what that person wants to do with their life. But I really wanted to send my condolences to the family. I know his children are going to hurt, because this is something that, he did go on Facebook Live, and he was able to talk to some of the family members and stuff like that. And my prayers are literally with his sister, because he was able to converse with her, as well as his, I think it was a nephew. I think it was a baby. I know it was a baby for sure. And the baby was speaking, and it's just so sad. You could see the hurt in his eyes. You literally could see the hurt. They say the eyes are the soul. They are, and you could see the pain that was in that baby's heart. I wish his family nothing but the best. I pray to God that things, you know, get better for them. I pray healing, and I pray for generational curses to be broken when it comes to that, because I'm not sure if he has sons or daughters, but either, because normally if you do look at situations, it's normally something that's repetitive. It's something that you see go from generation, and that's why you hear a lot of black people now saying that I'm trying to break generational curses. Now, I know y'all do that with this, I don't want to whoop my kids. That's why these children run around here acting a fool. Like they acting a fool. But we're going to leave that one on the floor like Lotto. And we're just going to let it be, okay? If it's meant to be, it'll be. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. But prayers for our black men. Pray, and I will be praying over our black men. I have a black man son and black man daddy. So, you know, it's they gotta be hard. Yeah. And that's not something that you hear in Caucasian culture. They're able to, you know, express their feelings. Asian culture, I'm not actually sure. Hispanic culture, not actually sure. But I will be asking, because I have a lot of friends of different ethnicities. So that definitely will be a question that's, you know, asked when I, you know, have conversations with them moving forward. Because I really want to know. Like, what are the men like in your family? Yeah. Are they, you know, do they express their emotions? How they look? How does it look? But yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I could not talk about it because it was so hurtful, and I was like, Lord, I shouldn't have watched that video. Listen, family TV, I know I've been sending people your way, my boy, okay, with your little handsome self, but it's just like, yeah, pray over our black men, because a lot of generational curses need to be broken, like, seriously. But love you guys. Hope you enjoyed.